Hey guys, it's your boy Atticus, and welcome. So hopefully you saw the announcement I posted a little bit earlier that we are having the mighty Dahvplays on the channel. Dahvplays, he's a really big creator on YouTube, has his own channel, and it's a really big honor to have him, guys. We're going to be doing a best of 3 this Friday, so check out the other video I made to find the details on it. And yeah, special thanks to Dav for agreeing to do it, and yeah, I hope to see you see guys join us and check out the videos. So this video here, this one is a little bit different. I recently saw a video by Turin, and yeah, you guys know who Turin is. He's a really big creator as well, and he did a top 10 list of units he thought were really bad in the game. And on one of those, one of the units that he listed was Shades with dual weapons. And I was a little bit apprehensive about this at first, guys. I love Shades. You've seen some of my replays where I've used them, but I admittedly haven't used many of the ones of dual swords, so I wanted to test them. So I did 3 different games with Shades of dual swords, and this is game 1, and we're going to actually see how they hold up, guys, see if they're worth it. I was in a conversation with somebody who was, saying that you should always just take the great sword variant, and I argued that maybe there's a place for them, for example, at the end of the game, once all your ammunitions ran out, and when you need to take them in the melee. They do have a bonus versus infantry, which is 8, which you guys will see here. Well, I guess you can't see it, but, the anti-infantry right there, it's plus 8, so if you're fighting things like other archers or peasants or even statesmen, these guys will do pretty good with their 40 melee attack, 36 defense. Excuse me, and they're only a little bit more expensive than the regular Shades. But we're gonna test them out, guys. We're gonna see how they go. So for my build, I went for a pretty cool build here. I brought. Let's get a little close up here. Good old. Where's she at? There she is. The sexy queen herself, Morathi. And yeah, Morathi is by far the most competitive pick, guys, as you know. She has anti-large, she has Soul Stealer, Doom Bolt, has all the Miasma, has all these spells that are just have a really good place pretty much in every matchup. And she's no slouch in combat. If you guys actually put her on a large target, she'll do pretty good. She'll do damage. She is armor piercing. So for my front line, I've brought in, let's see here, 1, 2, 3, 4 bleak swords supported by the Hellebroni in the middle. Also, as you see right here, I have a unit of Coldwind Knights on that side, and we have a Dark Riders on the other side here. In the back, we have the Black Guard of Nagron, and these guys are going to be dealing with any mammoths or manticores, or when I say manticores, I'm thinking of the other guys. Famir, excuse me, for the Norsca. Also, guys, this is the big staple here. This is the one we're testing out. I have 2 units of Shades with dual weapons. So we're going to see how these guys go. For my opponent, and you can see right here, I have 2 in Vanguard, and then I have 1 in the back here. You can see right here, I also have the Saneshi Harvesters, and these guys are my favorite unit out of the whole Dark Elf matchup. Minus maybe, I like repeater crossbows, but these guys are just so good. They have Word of Pain, which will reduce a melee attack by like 40 or something crazy. So they'll pretty much win any engagement they go in as long as you cast that. As for my opponent, he brought, where's he at? Looks like, yeah, there he is, guys. Wulfric the Wanderer, and I like him in this matchup. He has that what's that skill that he does? Yeah, Hunter of Champions, which gives a huge, -2 melee defense, armor, and speed. It allows him just to get on your lord and and snipe him. But since Morathi's in the air, I should be okay. He also has a Frostworm, which we don't see that a lot. These guys have a chilling aura, which will slow things around them. And yeah, they're okay, guys. I don't think they're as good as maybe like the High Elves Star Dragon, but if you catch your opponent slipping, it could be good. Let's go ahead and pause this for a second. So for his front line, he has Marauder Champions, Marauder Berserkers, 2 units of those, 3 units actually, and 4 units, excuse me. He also has 2 Javelins, and these guys are going to be a big threat to Morathi, so I have to be sure, she doesn't get caught up, and they'll also, tear through my cavalry. So my Celestial Harvesters and Coldwind Knights don't want to have anything to do with those guys. He also brought, it looks like, some Famir Warriors, and these guys are really good because they have armor sundering. So if you mix them in with your front line with these Berserkers, even if you're fighting something like, say, Black Guard of Naggaroth, you wouldn't think the Marauder Berserkers would do much damage to them since they're so highly armored, and these guys aren't armor piercing. But because of the Famir weapons, the Famir, they lower the armor, which makes it easier for the Marauders to hit. So it's a very good synergy between these 2 units. He also has a caster of fire, which, let's see what spells he brought, guys. Looks like burning bolts, burning head. Looks like he brought them all, actually. Fireball, cascading fire cloak, and the one that gives everybody fire damage. I forget what it's called. So, yeah, let's go ahead and start this, guys, and see how three shades of dual weapons do. So initially my setup, guys, is I put 2 in Vanguard, and I wanted to get as much early damage as I could. You can see that I always get a Doom Bolt right in the beginning since it's a bound spell. It's always good, good to get that damage as much as you can before your front lines will crash. So right here, guys, you can see that the shades, that was just a couple volleys right there, and it did their work. Over here, my Cold One Knights are going to get into combat with the Skin Wolves and the Frostworm. And this is a good engagement for them, as long as the rest of these shaft wouldn't come. But look, guys, when they're supported with the Shades, and they also get Doom and Darkness, and Morathi comes in, it's just going to crush those guys. There's such a good synergy with Morathi when it comes to large units, especially if you support them with range. Unfortunately, my Cold One Knights went into a rampage mode, which sucks, but what can you do? We're getting a little lag right here. So over here, we can see that Wolfric the Wanderer's got a little bit out of position, but I used Word of Pain on him, so he's not doing anything. He's just tickling my men right now. Our front lines have engaged. You can see right now, look how fast these Shades are taking out the Frostworm. It is so good, guys. I love Shades. They don't have the shields like, the Dark Shards do, but they just do so much damage, guys. They could just melt lords. Think of them like Way Watchers or Sisters of Avalorn. My opponent did cast a Burning Head, but he went at a kind of a weird angle there. He probably would have went to the side. But you can see that the Berserkers are just chewing through my Bleak Swords, but we're surprisingly, holding. But longer these guys fight, stronger they'll get. My opponent did cast a Fireball on Morathi, who is escorting the Frostworm off the map right now. And this is really good, guys. I don't want him coming back, and she's not really needed anywhere else right now, so I'm just going to escort him. You can see right here, the Shades now are just going to start sniping at the Lord, and it just kind of shows you the power of these guys. Over here, the Bleak Swords are chasing off the Javelins, and that's really good for me. So, as long as they're running off, they're not hitting my most important units, you know what I mean? So over here, you can see that I've gotten Wolfric the Wanderer kind of trapped down, and he too is getting sniped by those Shades, guys. So far, the Shades have just really paid for themselves. We've taken out the Frostworm. You saw those unit of Skin Wolves we taken out. We've halfway taken out his Lord there, or his Fire Sorcerer. And if they do need to get into melee, as you see right here, guys, they're going to trade really good. So we're right now they're fighting these Berserkers, and let's go ahead and just compare stats here. So well, these guys got fight or die, so their immediate attack is 87 right now, but it's usually not that. But compared to the Shades here, what are they at with, where are we at, melee attack, 50? Yeah, so 50 versus, now the thing's off. Oh, they got a debuff, it looks like, too. This is 53, so 50 versus 53, guys, 50 versus 53. So those Shades are actually going to be able to beat the Marauders. If, maybe not on a one-on-one, but they're going to pretty much wipe them out if they do kill them. So that kind of shows you the purpose of the Shades of Dual Weapons, guys. They can't go into melee, and that's kind of the idea I was thinking that they could be used for. If somebody does try to get units in the back, they'll be able to protect themselves. Over here, you can see my opponent is bringing back his Marauder Hunters with the Javelins, and I finally get Morathi back into the action. But you can see Wolfric the Wanderer is getting ready to die, guys. You just can't stand up to the damage caused by the Shades. So over here, another Burning Head by my opponent, but he kind of misses my my forces here. I think he needs to kind of come up more of an angle. But yeah, so now we're going to kind of see how the Shades do, trading with the Marauders with Javelins. And, these guys are made for anti-large. They're not going to do too good against Shades. It's kind of a waste of ammunition. But at this point, I've already won. There's not much he could do. But this really just this first game, and there's going to be 3 of them, just kind of shows you some of the utility the Shades with dual swords have. Especially when you saw when those Berserkers got into the fight. So let's go ahead and look at the end screen here. So yeah, I really think if you're fighting Norsca, if you're fighting maybe even the Orcs, if you're fighting, what's another good unit? Maybe Empire, Shades of Dual Weapons will be really good, guys. You're fighting a lot of units that don't have a lot of armor, especially like Norsca. They're going to get the anti-infantry bonus. They're going to save you a little bit of money because you don't need the armor-piercing variant against those. And yeah, they give you a little bit more security, knowing if your units do get attacked in the back, they're going to be able to protect themselves. So, where I definitely understand where Turin was coming from in the video, I would maybe challenge that they're maybe a little bit better than meets the eye. They are expensive, but as you saw in this first game here, we got them to work. So we're going to try again, guys. So looking at the end screen here, Marathi, I mean, she's the best Lord by far. I would actually argue she's the best Lord in the game, guys. I mean, yeah, you heard it from me. She just has so much utility. That armor piercing, anti-large. She has mobility. She has ways to heal herself. She's just really good. As for my, the rest of the units here, I mean, nothing really stood out. They all did their jobs. I mean, the Shades were the real MVPs. We were able to take out, the Frostworm, the Famir, the werewolves. What are they called? Skinwolves, excuse me. And, so far, I like him. As for my opponent and his build, I'm not a norsca, expert by any means. I would say, I don't know what I would have done different. I don't like going all front lines of berserkers when I do play them. Maybe like 2 units, maybe 3. But if you're fighting, the Dark Elves, you're going to have to expect, pretty meaty front line with either Blackguard or, excuse me, what's the other ones? God, why can't I talk? Harkenef Executioner, excuse me. So, maybe not. I don't know. The Javelins was a good choice. The Skinwolves, I actually think that they're one of the most overrated units in the game, and they're really, really overpriced. The Frostworm didn't get much action either because of the Shade. So, yeah, guys, I just wanted to show you that. So, I'll post a second game, and we'll test the Shades further, and we'll try to see how they match up. So, this is Atticus, guys. Thank you, and I'll see you next time.